Welcome to our Energizing Hatha practice. Before we start, I just want to remind you to always listen to your own body before you listen to my instructions, and never practice with any pain. Okay? Trust your body first, and if something isn't working for you, modify or take a rest in child's pose. So we're going to start our practice in Sukhasana, or easy pose. You're welcome to sit up on the edge of a blanket, or if you have a block, the edge of a block. And then place one foot in front of the other. If that doesn't feel good for your knees today, you can always extend your legs out in front of you instead. Just make sure you feel balanced on your sits bones. Rise up through the crown of your head. And you can rest your hands on your legs, either with your palms facing up to invite energy into the body, or your hands turned down to ground you. And lightly connect your thumbs and your index fingers. Soften your gaze or close your eyes. And begin to notice your breath. Breathing in and out of your nose. And begin to cultivate a breath that is deep and steady, but one that also feels natural in your body. Breath that can support you throughout your practice. Soften the belly so that it can move with the breath. Begin to gently release any thoughts that enter the mind, drawing your attention to the breath, into the present moment. Take a few more deep and steady breaths. Maintaining this depth of your breath and the focus of the mind, let's make our way onto hands and knees. On all fours, I'd like you to place your palms underneath your shoulders, your knees under your hips. Spread your fingers wide. You can tuck your toes under. Start to follow the rhythm of your breath through cat and cow. As you exhale, relax your head down. Press your back up. Draw your navel in and round your spine. As you inhale, lift your tailbone, your chest, belly towards the mat. Gaze up, facial muscles relax. Exhale, opening up the back of the body. And inhale, opening up the front of the body. Continue to flow through this a few more times at your own pace. The next time you exhale and round your spine, hold there and keep breathing. Imagine you can breathe right in between your shoulder blades. Take an inhale, come back to a neutral spine. Slide your palms slightly ahead of your shoulders. Keep your knees underneath your hips and tuck your toes. Make sure the creases of your wrists are parallel to the top edge of your mat. As you breathe out, relax your head down, engage your core. As you inhale, slowly lift your knees, extend your spine and your legs for downward dog. Feet hip width apart and parallel, toes spread. And you're welcome to
Walk the heels up and down a few times here, or make any other movements the body's asking for. We're going to start to flow with our breath. Contract your abdominal muscles. As you inhale, slowly lift your heels away from the floor. And begin to draw your shoulders forward over your wrists for plank pose. Draw your head forward last, crown of the head forward. And as you exhale, the little bend in your knees, take your hips high, draw your chest towards your thighs, and then extend your legs, heels towards the earth, downward dog. And inhale, heels rise, slowly coming forward to plank, navel to spine. A little bend in your knees as you exhale, take your hips high, chest to thighs, heels towards the earth. And inhale, slowly forward, keep your fingertips engaged, connecting to your mat. And exhale, pressing back. Let's do that a couple more times, following your breath. The next time you inhale and come forward to plank, let's hold there. You're welcome to touch your knees down to the floor at any time for more support. Keep your breath steady or lower jaw relaxed. And then as you exhale, press back to down dog. Contract your abdominal muscles as you inhale. Step your right foot up between your palms for low lunge. Align your right knee over your ankle, touch your left knee down to the mat, and lift your gaze. Tuck your back toes under, draw your left hip back, your right hip forward. With your core engaged, you can inhale palms to the front thigh or sweep fingertips up overhead. Soften your shoulders. If you feel steady here, let your gaze rise, relax your lower jaw. And take a couple deep breaths, lifting up through the chest. As you exhale, take your chest forward, connect your palms to the floor, lift your back knee off the mat, and step back to downward dog. Maintain a steady breath. Take your hips high, draw your chest towards your thighs. And with your next inhale, step your left foot up between your palms, low lunge. Left knee over the ankle, back knee touches down, gaze lifts. Okay, right toes tucked under, draw your left hip back, your right hip forward. When you're ready, you can take your hands to your front thigh to support you or reach your fingertips up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, bring your chest forward, connect your palms to the floor, lift your right knee off the mat, and step back to downward dog. With your core engaged, as you inhale, come forward to plank. As you exhale, lightly touch your knees down to the floor. Option to press back into child's pose if it's safe for your shoulders. Draw the eyes of the elbows to point forward, shoulders slightly ahead of wrists, and as you exhale, gaze forward, lower your chest and your chin. 8-point pose, elbows brush the side bodies. You let your pelvis and your toes follow, touch your forehead down. Contract your abdominal muscles with elbows squeezing the ribs. Take an inhale, lift forward and up into cobra, roll your shoulders back. Only lift as high as feels safe for you. Use your exhale to lower your chest and your head. Press your palms into the floor as you inhale, come up to your hands and your knees, tuck your toes, and rise up to downward dog. As you breathe in, step your right foot up between your palms for warrior one. With your right knee over your ankle, lower your back heel to the floor, back toes turned in 45 degrees. Gather the energy in your legs, like you're trying to pull your feet towards one another, engage your core, and as you inhale, you can take hands to heart center in front of the chest, or reach your fingertips up overhead. Square your abdomen and your chest towards the top of your mat, press your back heel into the earth, and then deepen your breath here. As you exhale, As you exhale, take your chest forward, lift your back heel, flatten the palms to the floor, shoulder width apart. From here, step back to plank. With your feet hip width apart and shoulder width apart, core engaged, keep your breath steady. Reach out through the crown of your head. As you exhale, press back to down dog. Take an inhale, step your right foot up between your hands. We're going to come into warrior two. Lower your back heel to the earth, and as you inhale, windmill your arms up at shoulder height. Make sure your front knee's directly over your ankle. Heel of the front foot should line up with the arch of the back foot, and then relax your shoulders. Inhale, windmill the palms to the earth, lift your back heel, and step back to plank. Knees can lower at any time for more support. As you exhale, press back to down dog. Remember, you can rest in child's pose at any time. With your next deep breath in, step your right foot forward. We're going to come into a high lunge. With your front knee over your ankle, back heel lifted, engage your core, and as you inhale, you can take your hands to your front thigh, or you can sweep your fingertips up over your head. Keep drawing right hip back, left hip forward. Find one spot to focus on to help you balance. As you exhale, take your chest forward, palms to the earth. Inhale to plank pose. Option to come to child's pose or down dog. And if you like, you can also work through 8-point pose with me, using your exhale to touch your knees down. As the elbows forward, shoulders slightly ahead of wrists. Next exhale, lower your chest and your chin. Your pelvis and your toes touch your forehead down. Take an inhale, lift forward and up into cobra. As you exhale, lower. Press your hands into the mat, take an inhale to hands and knees, tuck your toes, and rise up to downward dog. With your fingers spread wide, connect through each fingertip, support your wrists. And with your next inhale, step your left foot up between your palms. We're going to start with warrior one. Lower your back heel, back foot at 45 degrees, front knee over the ankle. And when you're ready, you can take hands to heart center or inhale, arms up. Firmly press your right heel into the earth. Energize that back leg and lift up through your chest. As you exhale, chest comes forward, back heel lifts. Place palms to the mat. Inhale to plank. Exhale, down dog. Stay connected to your deep and steady breath. With your next breath in, step your left foot forward for warrior two. Bring your left knee over your ankle, lower your right heel to the floor, and as you inhale, windmill your arms up. With your arms at shoulder height, reach out evenly through each of your fingertips. Gaze towards your left hand. Make sure your front knee is directly over your ankle, not collapsing in past your big toe. As you inhale, windmill your hands to the mat, lift your back heel, and step back to plank. Next exhale, press back to downward dog. As you breathe in, step your left foot up between your hands for high lunge. Align your left knee over your ankle, back heel's lifted, lift your gaze. With your core engaged, you can inhale hands to your front thigh or sweep your arms right up over your head. If you want to challenge your balance more, lift your gaze up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, take your chest forward, palms to the mat. And as you inhale, step back to plank. You can rest in child's pose or down dog, or take an exhale, lower your knees, chest and chin, 8-point pose. Inhale forward and up into cobra. Exhale, lower your chest and your chin, press into your palms as you inhale, hands and knees, tuck toes for downward dog. Contract your abdominal muscles. As you inhale, step your right foot up between your hands for side angle. Lower your back heel, right knee's over the ankle. You're going to rest your right elbow lightly on your thigh. Your left hand can stay on your hip, or you can inhale fingertips to the ceiling, or your arm alongside your ear. Press down through the outside edge of your left foot. You make sure your front knee's directly over your ankle, and then start to draw your bottom shoulder forward, your top shoulder back, opening up the ribs and the chest. Gaze towards the earth. As you exhale, lower your palms to the floor, lift your back heel. Plant your left hand directly underneath your shoulder. Turn onto the outside edge of your left foot, and as you inhale, step back to plank pose. Right palm can stay on the hip or fingertips to the sky. You can always keep your right foot in front of you at about hip height for a little extra support. Okay, so listen to your body. Make sure that left palm's directly under your shoulder, fingertips pressing into the earth. As you exhale, lower your right hand and come back into downward dog. Deepen your breath. And with your next inhale, step your left foot up between your hands for side angle. Back heel lowers. Rest your left elbow light on your thigh and take your right arm wherever your shoulder feels the best. Make sure your front knee's over your ankles. Start to revolve through your rib cage. Ground down through the outside edge of your right foot. As you exhale, lower your palms, lift your back heel. Plant your right hand under your shoulder, turn onto the outside edge of your right foot, and step back to side plank. Keep your breath steady, lift your hips away from the floor. As you exhale, lower your left palm, press back to downward dog. With your next inhale, walk your feet towards your palms. Bend your knees as much as you need to until you come into a forward fold with your feet hip-width apart. And your arms can dangle. You could cradle one elbow with each palm or hold the backs of each of your legs. If your lower back has any tension, please deepen the bend in your knees. Let your arms hang heavy. Keep your chin to your chest. Engage your abdominal muscles. You can use your hands on your legs for extra support. As you inhale, roll yourself up one vertebra at a time. Lift your head up last. Roll your shoulders back and down. Just pause here for a moment. Be with your breath. You come into a balancing posture. So find one spot to focus your gaze on. Spread your right toes, contract your abdominal muscles. And as you inhale, shift your weight onto your right foot and lift your left knee up in front of you. Okay, you can stay here. If it's safe for your knees, take a little bend into that right knee, flex your left foot, And bring your left ankle onto your right thigh, letting the left knee open up. Your palms can connect in front of the chest. Keep drawing your left toes towards your shin. You may linger here if it's safe for your knee joints. As you exhale, start to sit back. Tailbone sinking back as you draw your chest towards your shin. Maintain a steady breath. And contract your abdominal muscles, and carefully as you inhale, draw yourself back upright. And as you exhale, return your foot to the floor. Relax your arms and give your body a little shake. Now find your focal point. Spread your left toes. And with your core engaged as you inhale, shift your weight onto your left foot and draw your right knee up in front of you. And you can linger here or with a little bend in your left knee, right foot flexed, bring your right ankle onto your left thigh. Hands connect at heart center. You may stay here, or as you exhale, sit back, lowering your chest towards your calf. Keep drawing your right toes towards your shin and keep a steady breath. And slowly as you inhale, rise back upright. And as you exhale, take your foot back to the floor and then have a little shake. Place your feet hip-width apart. Take a little bend into your knees. As you inhale, sweep your fingertips up. And as you exhale, fold forward. Use your hands on the floor to support you. You're welcome to come straight to sitting if that's best for your joints, but if it's safe for your body, walk your feet until they're about mat width apart. Turn your heels in slightly, lower your tailbone, and lift your chest for a squat. Hands can stay on the floor to support you, or you can take your palms together. Lift your chest and lengthen your spine. Breathe deeply into your abdomen. Feel it expand and soften. Use your fingertips on the mat to support you. Carefully bring yourself down to sitting. And stretch your legs out for a moment. Loosen up your knees. And then bend your knees. Place your feet flat to the floor for boat pose. Option to hold the backs of the thighs. If your hamstrings, backs of your thighs are feeling quite open, you can also take first two fingers around the big toes. Okay. From here, focusing on one point with a long spine, shoulders down and back. Engage your core, and as you inhale, lift one foot or both feet. And notice what your breath is like. If it's really steady, you're holding backs of thighs, you can take an inhale, lift your heels up in line with your knees. If you have a hold of your toes, you can extend your legs, lift your chest. And wherever you are, make sure your breath is smooth, your facial muscles relaxed. As you exhale, bend your knees, slowly lower your feet down to the floor. Bring your hands to the backs of your thighs and round your spine, chin to chest. Inhale to sit tall. Take the soles of your feet together, let your knees open for butterfly. Rest your hands onto your shins. You can slide your heels out in front of you a little so your legs make a big diamond shape. And as you breathe in, sit tall and lengthen your spine. As you breathe out, slowly come forward. Relaxing into that diamond shape of your legs, take your chin towards your chest. Start to invite your breath into the back of your body. Expand your back muscles. Draw your navel towards your spine. As you inhale, slowly roll yourself back upright. Take your shoulders back and down. From here, carefully make your way down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. With your knees in the center, lower your feet down to the floor, and then extend your right leg and reach your arms out at shoulder height. Take a deep breath in. Then as you exhale, relax your left knee towards the right, stacking your hips. You tuck your right hip underneath your left. Your left foot can rest on your right leg, but if your hip feels comfortable, lower back feels safe, you can start to extend that left leg a little more. If your body's feeling really open, you could reach your right fingers towards your left big toe. But never force anything to happen in your body. Keep both shoulders connected to the earth. Take your gaze where your neck is comfortable and find a steady breath here, breathing into tension. Take a bend into that left knee if the leg is extended. Use your right palm to help you as you inhale. Draw your knee back to the center. And shift your pelvis back to center. And then squeeze your knees to your chest and rock from side to side. And bring your knees to the middle. Lower your feet down to the floor. This time extend your left leg and reach your arms out at shoulder height. Start with a big breath in, and then carefully as you exhale, twist towards the left. Tuck your left hip underneath the right. Keep your shoulders on the floor. Your right foot can keep resting on your left leg. You can start to extend that leg if that feels good for you, maybe connecting fingers to right big toe. Only if that comes naturally to the body. And continue to follow the movement of your breath. The right leg is extended. Bring a bend to the knee. Use your left hand to support that right leg as you inhale. Draw your leg to center. Shift the pelvis to center. Squeeze both knees to the chest and rock side to side. With the knees to the middle, quietly lower your feet down to the floor. And from here, prepare for Shavasana, your relaxation. Okay, you can lie out on your mat. We have the recorded audio of a guided Shavasana. If you'd like to find that on this channel, you can let that guide you into a deep rest. Or you can just sit here in quiet and stillness. I would hope that you would give yourself at least 5 to 10 minutes to rest and just absorb your practice. Thank you for joining me, and namaste.